Groves was crowned Commonwealth champion, only his 9th fight. David Hayes, stablemate of course, and the heavyweight champion in his corner tonight. Gaining valuable international experience, Groves here, taking on Alfredo Contreras from Mexico. Lost to Scotland's Craig McEwen on the Mayweather-Hatton bill, a pro since 2007. We can join this one in round one.
Here's an important, exciting and almost certainly a slightly nervy night for Hammersmith hotshot George Groves, who enters double fighting figures on this huge stage. American debut for our recently crowned Commonwealth champion. Does look to be going places, and in with the toughish Mexican Alfredo Contreras. He's the task over 8 rounds. Contreras has won 11 of 19, and it's good to see Groves in this sort of a fight.
Yeah, well, Groves has been desperate to appear in one of these big Las Vegas bills, and it's happened.
Oh, right hand, beautiful shot from the Mexican, and that's an early warning to George Groves that it can be very tough stateside.
Yeah, well, Groves missed with a couple of punches there and then stayed there, just stayed there a second too long, and he was countered. That was a solid shot, caught him high, thankfully. He recovered pretty quickly, but that was a solid shot from Contreras.
Yeah, more seasoned Contreras. Groves has won all 9 in 20 months as a pro. Highly accomplished amateur, but he's learning the business fight by fight and taking the odd chance as well along the way.
Yeah, well, the only worry I've had about Groves so far is his defence. It's not tight. He carries his left hand very low. And he does take some chances. We have to remember he's only 22. So quite some time before he fully matures and learns the business, but he's a little bit hot-headed.
Yep, turned 22 in March. Groves from West London. Got an attractive style. Can hit, as Charles Adamu found out last time when Groves won the Commonwealth belt. Flooring the African 3 times on the way to an excellent stoppage win.
Watch your heads, watch your head.
Well, probably not the spectacular opening round that Groves was hoping for. He's missing again there and being topped by counters. So he's finding it's a tough school over here. The Contreras is known for his toughness. So just posing a few problems for Groves in the opening round.
A neat combination from Groves, and then the jab and right hand. He's got good speed. Contreras upright, but strong looking. That's better from Groves, and now he gets a right hand in and a wry smile from Contreras as we enter the end of the first.
Yeah, I think he's just going to have to calm down a little bit. His work has certainly improved as the first round got towards the end.
Here's a 3rd round. Groves has already got a couple of stoppages in this 3rd session. One against Romaric Tignar, the other against Grigor Sarahanian in Essex earlier this year. Tough Contreras, though. Good jab, Groves.
Yeah, this is good pressure now from Groves. Still showing a little bit of patience, but yeah, more accurate now with the punch. He's sharpened up much better.
Lovely left, followed by a right over the top as well. Speed and concentration. And a gain from George Groves, who is really putting the combinations together and showing a bit of power as well. First minute of the 3rd, best minute of the fight for Groves so far.
Yeah, beginning to find a little bit of rhythm in his boxing. That's what's been lacking. Yeah, the jab working for him again. More confident look in Groves' boxing now.
Lovely guy outside of the ring, George Groves. Often admits that he needs a little bit of a reminder early on in fights to switch on and get fully motivated. Certainly moving up in gears now, Groves. Lovely right hand, and not so much back from Contreras now.
Yeah, showed good defence as well there, Groves. He got his punches off, then got his defences back together again. Contreras is realising it's slipping away from him in this round, so we can expect a drive in the last minute here.
It's clever work too from the double ABA champion, who boxed for Dale Youth, same club as arch rival James DeGale, as Groves switches southpaw momentarily, just like his big foe. That fight with DeGale, I'm sure at some point down the line it will be built into a real blockbuster if they keep winning.
Well, the first couple of rounds were fairly close, but much more decisive boxing in the third round from Groves, taking control now. Showing a little bit more of what he's about. Lovely left hook.
You're aiming to showcase his talent. Lovely right hand counter. This is really good from George Groves. Not that many here early on at ringside, but important people watching. Wants a statement, and that was a good round from Groves. Just got his act together, didn't he, Jim?
Yeah, well, his boxing was a little bit disjointed in the first couple of rounds. He's found his way now. See what Adam Booth saying.
Hasn't a clue when you keep it to your strength. Take a deep breath. Deep breath and hold it. Hold it. How do you feel?
Yeah, good.
I want that staccato rhythm where it's unpredictable behind that and the twitching to set everything else up. And when you set it up, do it fast and don't linger. Fast and go down low. Yeah. Not fast and pull back. Fast and go down low and then back to staccato to the rhythm. All right?
Yeah, excellent round for Groves there, switching body to head, good solid punching. Yeah, stepping in with the shots now.
10th professional fight this for George Groves, and the 20th for Alfredo Contreras. More experience, but he has lost on 7 occasions. Groves defending an unbeaten record. The new Commonwealth champion, possibly defending against Carl Dilts in the autumn. That all ahead. Business still to do here. And we saw a few years ago John O'Donnell coming unstuck on his American debut when he was unbeaten. Punished in a couple of rounds by a Mexican, Christian Solano. Groves needs to keep his eye on the ball and make sure this is a positive and excellent visit.
Yeah, well, I think the warning shot that he took in the opening round, his concentration since then has been good. Bit more accuracy now in his punching, not quite so much coming back from Contreras.
Whip that left hand over Groves. Summoning him in, Contreras. Bit of the Mexican machismo.
I think Contreras is a lot more difficult to catch with clean punches than he looks. He looks loose, his defences look loose, but his reflexes are still pretty good. So Groves not really landing with the full power of the punches yet.
I think Team Groves wanted a sort of hardened opponent, not a pushover to get rounds, but I know they want the knockout at some stage, and that was a lovely straight shot from George Groves. Upright, Contreras fighting back, but head static, and there's the target for Groves to aim to.
Yeah, Groves just has to be careful. He's probably not looking as good here as he would like to look. You know, he's used to dictating things, they're dominating opponents. He's not quite doing that. He's winning the rounds. Good shots there.
Yeah, beautiful right hand. Got through at the beginning of that barrage from Groves. That troubled Contreras. 15 seconds left in the fourth.
He's a bit tighter now when he misses with punches, Groves. I think he's taken that warning on board. When he misses, he's pulling his head down out of harm's way.
Here's the sixth round. This the session where he tore apart Charles Adanu in Manchester on the undercard of his great mate David Hayes. Terrific win over John Ruiz. It was a graduation night for Groves and very early in his career. Former amateur star and proving a decent-looking pro early on and improving in this too.
Groves carries his left hand very low, but I think that's the reason that Contreras doesn't see the jab coming. He's whipping the jab up from his hip. Oh. The referee's seen enough.
Yep, the referee gave him the warning in the corner. At the end of the last round, Contreras complains. He says he's fine, but it was becoming increasingly one-sided. And the American debut is a success of George Groves, who makes it 10 out of 10, 8 now by stoppage. And he got the job done pretty well in the end.
He certainly did. The main thing is, in this kind of outing, is that he improves with every round that passes, and that is certainly the case. He got better and better with every round. It's not too often we see American referees stopping a fight a little bit early, but certainly better than that, than leaving it late. And the Contreras was out of the fight.
Must have been some butterflies, some nerves for George Groves here on this big stage, but a lovely left hand, and the referee Russell Mora had seen enough. Celebration time for Team Groves and a good education, Jim.
Yeah, but I think the fact that Contreras wasn't landing anything, it was one-way traffic. He still looked competitive, but it wasn't really, didn't have much input. So it was a good call and a good performance from Groves.